The city of Harare has a very long and interesting history, which can be traced back to the days of European colonialism, company administration, and responsible government. At independence, Harare was a segregated and unequal city in terms of built environment, governance, and infrastructure services. The city council and national government began a journey to transform the city on many fronts. Many analysts thought it was an impossible task. Others saw it as the impending demise of the city. Both were wrong. Infrastructure services were expanded in a manner never seen before. The collective determination of the city council, residents, land developers, building societies, and national government expanded the city to where it is now. In this special episode of the book series, we explore the origins, growth, status, and prospects of Harare. We examine a new book, The Making of an African City, How Harare Grew Over Centuries. This book was published by the Combined Harare Residents Association and can be accessed on the link that I'm going to paste right in the description panel of this video. Enjoy. Dr. Muchadenyika, thank you so much for making the time. I'm very happy to have you.
Thanks very much, and thanks for the opportunity to share a little bit in terms of my latest book.
That is wonderful. I'm very happy to have a Zimbabwean, and I'm also happy that I understand you recently launched the book in Harare, right?
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Please just tell us briefly about that experience, and then we can get into the other details of the book.
Okay. I think first and foremost, let me say that the idea to write this book, I think it started 7 years ago when I was doing research in Southern Africa. I was researching on cities and climate change in Maputo, Lusaka, and Windhoek. So at that point, I used to talk to a lot of mayors and councillors and policymakers, amongst others. And one of the things that they kept on emphasizing to me is to say that in all those cities, there was no goal to book, that if someone really wants to understand in terms of the growth of Lusaka or the growth of Maputo over time. So in 2019, I started writing the book. So the book is actually a combination of 5 years of work and research. And we launched the book sometime last month, of which the book launch, the keynote speech came from the acting mayor of the city of Harare. And there were a number of actors, both non-state actors and also state actors that were present. And I think in a nutshell, the book was well received, largely because the book focuses on the practical issues that any policymaker interested in city development can focus on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's wonderful. And one thing I like about the book, and one of the reasons why we had to get it on the book series, is because such kind of content has an interdisciplinary approach. Almost anybody, who is a resident of Harare, citizen of Zimbabwe, who has interest in urban issues, interest in quite a variety of issues, might get to learn from the book in a variety of ways. So viewers and listeners, be on the watch to get a copy of this book. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to just give us a breakdown of the main ideas of the book and some of the central arguments that you advance.
Okay, thanks very much. I think the book is all about perhaps 4 things. It's about the origins, the growth, the status, and the prospects of Harare, which is Zimbabwe's capital city. And in doing this, I analyze boundary expansions, how the city has grown over time, changes in population, development of new settlements, and also the construction of new infrastructure and changes in access to services. Because these are very important when we are looking at the making of a city over time. And my central argument really is on the growth of Harare. I characterize it by focusing on two things, that is transition and transformation. I examine the city's expansion due to changes in population, governments, city administration, planning codes, developments both the national and urban economy. When we look at these areas of focus, what we see is that the major socio-economic, political, and demographic changes have actually altered the dynamics of city growth over time. And when we look at these transitions, the areas that I've mentioned, that I focus in the book, you would see that the outcomes of these various transitions have actually transformed the city in a number of ways. One, the city's economy has changed completely from 1890 up to what we have now. Two, in terms of infrastructure. Three, the spatial extent of the city has changed drastically over centuries. Four, the administration of the city changed completely. For instance, in 1890, the city was run by an administrator who had been appointed by the British South Africa. Yes. And when you go around 1893, 94, I think when the first municipal administration, there were three people. There was a town clerk and a municipal engineer and I think a constabulary. Only three. But to date, we have over 9,000 people who are working in the administration. And also, if you look at the housing fabric then, it was only like grass and thatched structures that you had in 1890. Now we have over 300,000 brick and mortar plant structures. So that on its own, it tells you that there's been transformation. So my argument is that transformation is characterized by 5 key factors. Number one is the rapid increases in access to infrastructure services. Number two is to do with the extensive expansion of the new settlements and infrastructure over time. Number three is the increase in economic activities. If we look at in 1890, I think one of the earliest industries was around at Market Square, where Market Square is now. I think it was a brewery or so. They used to draw water from the stream that is closer to Market Square. But now, if you look at it, we have more than maybe 9,000 commercial and industrial entities in the city. And that shows the transformation. Number four, evidence of transformation is actually the policy changes to support the grassroots forms of urban development. If you look at it prior to 2000, citizens and urban residents in particular in Harare, they were largely seen as beneficiaries of government and city programs and also programs that are funded by external partners. But after 2000, we begin to see a complete change in ordinary citizens turning from being mere beneficiaries of infrastructure and services and housing to actually being financiers of key processes of planning, surveying, infrastructure development, and housing development too. The final point I make to illustrate the transformation is largely to do with the changes in the spatial arrangements in the city. If we look at the spatial arrangement of the city in 1890 and what we have now, we can clearly see in terms of the big difference. But to conclude on this, it is important, I think, that we look at what the main actors at the center of city growth over time. One, we do have the city authorities. Two, we have the national government, residents, and the private sector. So in making Harare, these 4 actors are critical in as far as the transformation that I've explained earlier on is concerned.